Good morning. Jeffrey's Last Dance. The channel where we're falling from the head to the heart and living life through this open heart chakra. This is what we're learning to do here on this channel. And I am your humble guide. Welcome to this beautiful fall season, this Halloween season. Fall is my favorite season of all. And it's just starting to cool down here. It was like 102, 103, 104 a couple of weeks ago. And it's starting to feel like fall now, and because that did not feel like fall. And I'm swimming in some cold water. That is my cup of tea. Doing some wonderful things. Got off a fast. I just concluded about a 3.5 day fast. That is a solid, you know how I've been telling you, how I fast a few times a year, 3, 4, 5 times a year, to let the body rest and to rebuild itself. It's very, very smart. I just ended it yesterday. Sunday night started it. Big full moon in Aries. I'm an Aries. I'm born April 10th. And so I'm an Aries, and this big full moon. I went out for a walk this morning around 5:30, and walking down the street, and here was this big full moon as I'm walking down the boulevard. It's early in the morning, so I just walk straight down to the center of the street. There's no cars, no nothing. It's the smartest thing to do. If you walk on the sidewalks, it's cement, number one, and the sidewalks are torn up, number two. They're cracked and uneven, so you could trip and catch something with your heel and fall, which I'm one fall away from a drastic shoulder operation. And if you walk on this side of the road, you're talking about a lean. Okay, the lean of the road for water runoff is going to throw you off a little bit. So walking down the crown of the road, which is the center part, which there's no lane in this particular thing, so that's good. I just walk straight down the middle of the road. Sometimes people look at me a little crazy, but there are no cars, and I don't recommend doing that during rush hour. But when there's no cars, it's your road. You know, it may as well be your road, and it's the smartest thing to do. You know, you walk on asphalt, which is a little bit more forgiving than cement. It's all even, there's the big full moon right there. I was walking down this boulevard right in front of me, staring up at it. It was so beautiful, glad to be able to check it out and appreciate it for what it was. The full moon. I mean, you know, I spent a lot of evenings in certain places where it was a full moon, and the way it lights up the forest or the stream or the beach is really a nice addition to our life here on Earth. I have heard that the moon isn't a natural object, and we'll talk about that someday. I know a lot of stuff, that it was placed there for certain reasons. It's a very interesting story, but you know, I love the moon, it's been a wonderful addition to here to life on Earth, and I learned to consider it my own. But a lot of people are saying it's a satellite. It was placed there by certain advanced races that wanted to watch over the Earth, not in a good way. And we'll see that. That's all news coming up here, exactly what that's all about. But it sure looked beautiful this morning, 5:30. Beautiful, just hanging in there. A lot of people rushing by. Very few people saw the moon like I saw the moon. And that's part of the problem here on Earth. We're so rushing and so into what we're personally doing, we never look up and take a look at what's around us and the awesomeness of what it truly is and what it represents. And I definitely saw the moon this morning, and it was a beautiful sight to see. So things are good now. I haven't posted in a while because I've been off my game in a lot of ways. I've been going through some stuff, and I'm supposed to be going through some stuff at this point, and I've been feeling unmotivated to do anything. I can't play guitar. I try to sit and play guitar, it doesn't work. And my energies have been off, but there are reasons for that. When I find out exactly what they are, if I feel like telling you, I'll tell you. But this is my most favorite time of the year. Now, I'm trying to do this talk, unlike the other talks I do, with no notes. I have this board here that I use, and I work off the board. And keeps me focused on what I want to say. Because usually, I have long talks sometimes. So I'm doing this free form, okay? And so we're going to see what happens. And I want to kind of start to develop a flow of conversation that isn't dependent on me reading lines. I just have PowerPoints, and then I read the PowerPoint and then I flow into it. So there's that. But I also want to see if I can get to the point where I can just flow with the information that I want to say and let it come out without me having to refer to anything, which is very, very strong. Yogananda, he would go to be driving to an 8,000 seat, 10,000 seat auditorium, and he would be saying in the car, I wonder what I'm going to talk about. He used to have no idea, no plans, no preparation, no nothing. That's the way yogis are. They just go with it. And when he steps out there, he just enters the flow, and his God connectedness allows him to say the most appropriate things at that point in a divinely inspired way. And, that's the kind of instructor or a teacher, if you want, if we will, although I don't know yet if I'm a teacher, but that's the kind of way I like, as opposed to having notes and paper. That's the intellectual, collegiate sort of way, and that can be nice. I have no problem with it necessarily, but I don't know that it's necessarily the thing I want to do as I graduate and develop. The more heart-centered you become, the more you're able to do that. And the more it's going to make sense. The more head-centered you are, the idea of having something written down is as a tool makes more sense. So that's one of the tells of me getting to my heart, opening that heart, dropping into the heart, and expressing through that heart, moment to moment, day by day, in each eternal now moment, living that moment through that heart space, okay, and the tenderness and the respect and the gentleness and the humility and the authenticity that comes through, and the security that being in the heart provides, and the love and the joy and the wonder and the mystery and the magic. That's what living in the heart is going to breed, and this is what we're looking for here on this channel. All right, now so I'm trying this, and we'll see how it works. This is entitled Crashing Down. This whole system we're living now, the whole educational, corporate, media, entertainment, healthcare, governmental, all of this has to come crashing down. Okay? It's based on an old model of development, a lower vibrational model of development, ego-based model of development, and I've never been inspired by it. I always felt that in being not only a prisoner in my mind, but I'm a prisoner on earth with all these ways and means that we've developed up until now, that are nothing but a prison also. I've never felt from the very beginning, I've never felt that there was room for me in the standard American corporation. There just isn't. Just like there wouldn't be room for Jesus in a corporation, or any enlightened person in a corporation. The corporation is a monument to ego, and it's the best we can do with ego. And it's a usury system. It's a ravenous system. It is a hard edge system. There's no love. no soul, no humanness in a corporation. And I've always known that there's no room for me in a modern American corporation, nor would there ever be. And that's fine with me. You could say, well, how could that be? Jesus, that's unfair. And I don't think that way. I just take it as it is. And I know that there was never any room for me in a modern American corporation. And I'm fine with that. And then you got to ask, what is the problem then? What makes the problem? Is it the people that have built the corporation, or is it the corporate entity that infects the people and corrupts them? And it's both. I've watched people in corporate settings. They're a very poor version of themselves in these settings. It's nothing we can be particularly proud of as we express ourselves through these corporate entities. They are. We have to cram ourselves and shrink our consciousnesses and take seriously something that, quite frankly, isn't all that important. Most corporations are doing things that really, in a very real way, of and by themselves, aren't particularly important, okay? And we're demanded that we take them as the all and everything, and take seriously and do their bidding, and grow out the quotas, and ever more money making, and ever more decisions that deny the whole in favor of the profit in the moment. It is just something that plays both. It's an example of how we are still in a low level of consciousness, and the systems that we build, the corporate entities that we build, are a reflection of that egoic-driven, low vibrational consciousness, and we are outgrowing all these systems, so it has to crash. And exactly the extent of the crash, I can't say I know exactly for sure. I only know that it has to crash so they can rebuild anew something in a more that's more reflective of what we are becoming as human beings, as we step more into our divine expanded nature, our oneness with all of life, our unity with all of life and everyone else, our love of life and our love of the earth, our love of each other, and that's what we have to build. That's the building block in which we're going to build this new world that's coming. So it has to come crashing down. What doesn't come crashing down, what we have to do, begin to do, and it's coming soon, is just walk away from it and let it wither and die. And we rebuild something that we can all be proud of in all these different areas. My dad told me a story one time. I never forgot the story. I was probably 10 years old. And he said, when Shirley Temple, when she got to be 17 or 18, the magic was gone. I agree. It was gone. It wasn't designed to go any further for her. But she was, I feel, she was sent to Earth to help the whole country keep our spirits up during the Depression. She practically saved a couple of the music industry icons. MGM. She practically single-handedly saved them with the selling of tickets. And everybody wanted to get a little piece of the good-natured little girl that came to keep our spirits up and the innocence of it all. Now, when it came to the point where the magic was gone, she was pretty much, it was just clear that was the case. So her last day, she walked into the studio to gather a couple things, and there was no one there. It was stone silence. She had to walk in, get her things, and just leave. There was no thank you, no party, no get-together, no gathering ever, to say thank you, Shirley Temple. This whole country never said thank you to Shirley Temple. Okay, for the things she did in the early 30s, 1931, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. in keeping this nation's spirit up during the Depression and preparation for World War II. I was stunned by that. And that taught me a valuable lesson, number one, of human nature, the usury nature of human nature, and the Hollywood, how Hollywood worked, and which is a microcosm of how this whole system works, and how they just use you, and when they're done with you, they throw you away, and they have no real thanks or gratitude or sensitivities that would dictate that they have people there. Her last day coming in, there should have been everybody there clapping for her, saying, "Thank you, Shirley Temple, for everything you've done." And this whole country, it would be a great thing to do these days, by the way, to pull everything together, to have a thank you day. Thank you, Shirley Temple. And I submit this to the collective conscious / unconscious. Let us all have a thank you, Shirley Temple Day. All of us get together, black, brown, white, rich, poor, and thank Shirley Temple for what she did for this country, keeping the spirits up. But that is a valuable lesson, and I never forgot that, because I was stunned at that age, for me, that happened, that no one said thank you, Shirley Temple, for everything you've done. And that is a good example of how I began to understand how this world worked, and how unacceptable it truly was. Okay, and so this whole thing does have to come crashing down, where the educational system, the entertainment industry, music industry, the governmental systems, corporate systems, all those systems have to go, have to drop, have to crash, and we have to build something new. Okay, so it's going to come and crash of its own. And so I'm telling you, I'm trying to warn you that's going to happen. So don't be freaked out. When that begins to happen, a lot of us will be thinking, oh God, this whole world is crashing down before our very eyes. What are we going to do? It's actually going to be a great sign. Okay, so when that starts to happen, when the systems we've built start to crumble before our eyes, that's a great sign. That's the beginning of everything, okay? It's going to be the beginning of building a new world, but it's going to be a little challenging for a while. But it's going to be a great sign for all of humanity when this system comes crashing down. The system that was never good enough. And it was the result of a lower vibrational ego dementia, or not dementia, but just a demented, there you go, way. And I've never been personally satisfied with it. I thought it was just another level of prisonership that we all had to. The publishing industry, how that works. It's just, if you know how that really works, and the cold, unacceptable way those people behave, you understand. And the same with the music industry. They use you up, and we're done with you. They throw you away. They try to get as much as they can out of you, and they try to mold you and craft you into something you're not. And to use your artistic abilities, glean as much as they can from you, and toss you away when they're done. Judy Garland felt the same way in her private moments, even with the time of Wizard of Oz. That she was just used for like a sack of whatever, and just tossed away when they were done with her. So it's unacceptable. We should all stand up on our own 2 feet and say, this is unacceptable. We don't want this anymore, and we're going to change it. What doesn't come crashing down, we simply step away from. We no longer feed it, like our government. Just step away. We don't have to have a revolution. All we have to do is step away, let it wither, and rebuild something new. Okay, because our government has become a corrupt mess. There are reasons for that too. We'll go into it sometime, but not today. It's going to come crashing down, and on that day, when it becomes evident that everything is crashing down, we can all sigh and emit a hoot and a celebration that if we know what we're doing, which we're not going to know what we're doing, but I'm telling you, I will be saying, all right, this is the beginning of the beginning here, when this whole thing comes crashing down, as it is right now. And it deserves to become crashing down. It isn't good enough for us, and it is going to be a great day when that comes. All right? Look at our food. Another thing, food industry. Look how much food is delivered to us, and look how many resources, look how much resources we use to deliver food to us that is no good for us. Cokes, fast food, chips, candy, sweet, whatever, some of that stuff, fine. But look at the mechanization of our food industry, McDonald's. All those things, they're not food. They're more poisons than they are food. Every time you eat a McDonald's burger, you're a little closer to death, however small that might be. How many resources are wasted in getting food to us that kills us? All right, the medical system, the pharmaceutical industry, the same. Okay, so that's the example of a very low vibration. We think we're all smart and we think we're modern and the epitome of human development, but how can we be with systems like that we're wasting so much of the Earth's the words escaping me now, but we're wasting so much trying to get food to us that kills us. Okay, does nothing more than just kill us. Okay, one way or the other, eventually. And there's a good example. We think we're all advanced and modern, and the epitome of human development. We're not. We're really very primitive, and we're really not very smart. Any society that wastes that much resources, there you go, Earth's resources, getting food and goods to them that just kills them, is not very smart, okay? And we are not very smart, but we're going to become smart, okay? Jay Africa's Last Dance, I am, I even forgot what I usually say. Jay Africa's Last Dance, I am citizen of Earth, loyal patriot of the United States of America, and I stand unafraid. And these four, Mother Earth, Divine Mother, Paramahansa Yogananda, and Jesua Ben Joseph, I've enlisted them to sit on my shoulders in my heart, getting me to where I want to go here as an example to you. A heart-centered being out of my mind into my heart, and living that heart center and creating a brand new self and a brand new world. Okay, that's how we're going to do that. And that's where the unity is found. That's where the oneness is found, is in the heart. And that's going to be a great day. Okay, so this is crashing down. Okay, this whole thing is going to come crashing down, and I'm telling you that it is. It's a year away, year and a half away, and it'll be a great day when it all comes crashing down. Okay, thank you very much for listening. This has been a nice talk. I'm happy, and I hope you're happy too. And like I say, this is my favorite season of all right now, fall. It's going to pass in a blink of an eye. Thank you for listening, and we'll try this again. Bye.